So, hello, everyone, and welcome to another BW Virtual Table Talk. And my table talks are always special to me because I have good friends who have volunteered to come on with me and just to share their story with the BW Circle. So, I'm excited tonight because I have my good friend and colleague with me, Jess. And it's funny that, hey, Jess. It's funny, Jess, I was just thinking about you because my best friend reminded me that our second anniversary is coming up. The BW second year anniversary, August the 31st, 2020 will be our second year anniversary. And I thought about you because our first anniversary is when I found out that you could blow. I had no clue of the gift
Girl
God had imparted to you. And you show up at the BW event.
God, really? Okay, girl.
You show up and you blew everybody away. So somebody was asking me, about was I going to do something for the second year anniversary? And I said we would probably skip this year because of the pandemic. But I had just thought about you because I'm like, if I was having an event this year,
wow,
guess who was going to be invited for entertainment?
Oh wow, girl, my voice is so rusty and dusty, honey. Like, whew. Yeah, but I would have done it for you. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. So you always have my back. That's why I love you.
I love you too, girl.
So tonight, we're not talking about the BW event. Tonight, we want to talk to the women about what it's like to be dating in 2020. And you are one of my friends. You're smart, you're educated, but you are single and you're doing this dating thing in 2020. So Tip, what's it like dating in 2020?
Girl, it is a whole struggle out here.
She said a whole struggle.
It's a struggle. I ain't gonna even lie. Because, you don't want to just date anybody, anything. You know what I'm saying? I feel like most women have standards. And the standards are not so high that nobody can meet them. But, the guys that I run into, they leave a lot to be desired. So it's hard out here, girl. It's hard out here.
Age plays a role in it, maybe?
Be thankful you married, girl.
You said it's a whole struggle. Do you think age plays a role in that?
As far as my age or their age or,
Just the guys. I'm going to say the guys in your age group, the guys in their 30s, early 30s.
Okay, so cool fact. I've never dated a guy my age.
Okay.
So I tend to date the older.
Okay.
I tend to date older. Okay. They real seasoned. You know what I'm saying?
And it's still a whole struggle, even with the older guys?
Yes. And you want to know why?
Yes. Please tell me.
Because I find that most of the guys that are the old area, like they are just set in stone in their ways. Like I've had a hard time. Like they don't bend. They're like, that old school mentality, that the lack of affection and different things like that. That's just what I've run into. But I know that I can't generalize every man, you know what I'm saying, in that age group, in the older age group. So that's been my experience. But just recently, I have been talking to some guys that are closer to my age, and I can't believe it, to be honest.
You said I can't believe it.
I can't believe it. The last guy I dated that was my age, he was my high school sweetheart. And that was it. That was in high school. So, yeah.
So, just let me ask you this. Have you ever tried, because, of course, we're in a pandemic, okay? Have you ever tried online dating?
I sure have, and I'm online dating right now.
So, that where you met the guys now?
Yes. And so I know people...
Like online date?
Okay, so people, have their, and I was the same. I had my, my thoughts about online dating, like, there's some strange people out there, they crazy. And I thought about it, I was like, the same people at Walmart that walk up to you and approach you, you don't know them. You can be at the store out with your girlfriends, a guy approach you, you don't know them. So when I thought about it, what sparked it was, I was listening to a podcast of a young lady that I follow that I really admire. Her name is Myleik Teal, and she is the founder of Curl Box. It's like a natural hair care subscription. And she is 40 years old. And so she's been with her partner for 5 years. And she is about to have her baby number 2, actually. Very successful Black woman. And she met her man on Tinder.
Oh.
And that particular podcast, she was talking about online dating and everybody's misconceptions, and how we got to think outside the box and get out of that mind frame of, like, weirdos are online. And I thought about it. I was like, okay, Coco out here got everybody in the house. That's coronavirus. Second of all, I ain't going nowhere because I ain't trying to get Coco, okay? And I ain't doing no traveling. I'm in the house. Really, besides going to the office or going to get food or maybe visiting, a close friend or family member, getting gas, like, I'm at home. And I'm like, I got extra time that I didn't otherwise have. And I desire to be married one day. And, it's a slim chance to none that my knight in shining armor is going to come and knock on my door and be like, hey, girl, I'm here. So I'm like, I got to make something shake. I got to make something happen. So I said I was going to give online dating 3 months. So this is month number 2. And so far, and I'm just going to be clear, there are weirdos out there. You have to use discernment and wisdom when, looking at different guys that even come in your inbox, and I'm looking at profiles, and I'm just like, you just really don't know until you really start to have a conversation with people. But it's been 3 guys that I have been talking to consistently. 2 of them I've met, and we've actually been on dates. And yeah, it's been pretty interesting.
And so these were the guys that were your age, and you found them better.
I'm having fun.
So these guys were your age.
I feel
our
like
internet went out a little bit.
Okay.
So
I can hear you.
You can't hear me? Okay, you was dragging a little bit. So these guys were your age, and these were the ones that you met that was actually better than the guys you had met in person that was older.
Yeah, much better. Yeah, much better in every way. First of all, they're younger, more vibrant. Not to say that older guys aren't, because I've met some older guys that are, in their late 40s and 50s, and they can get around just like a 20-year-old, do stuff that a 20-year-old does. But I feel like I have more in common with the guys. So the oldest one is 40, so I'm 33, just 6 years older. I say 6 because I'll be 34 soon. And so I feel like we have more in common. They are professionals, and they have something going for themselves. And they're respectful, which is very important to me. So far, they're, kind. And everybody has flaws. I have flaws, okay? But it's just about getting to know people. They're decent enough that, I'm going to talk to them, still chat with them. I don't have any red flags, popping up. But I feel like it's more controlled for me because 2 of them are at a distance. And so you really have to be intentional about communication. It allows you to really get to know a person because communication is really all that you have. It's not like, I can get off work and then go chill at his place, or he can come to my place, but we have to be intentional about really getting to know one another. And so, yeah, it's been interesting. It takes a lot of time, though. I ain't gonna lie. You be having these conversations. I'll be like, oh, we've been on the phone 2 hours. Oh, okay. So
Wait,
like,
you
it's 10
had the
o'clock.
chance
You
to
gotta go
meet.
to sleep.
You had the chance to
Huh?
meet two of them face to face, though, right?
Yes.
Were you
Actually,
fearful?
I met the.
Were you
Huh?
fearful? Were you fearful to meet them in person?
I wasn't because I had been talking to them for a little over a month, pretty much like every day, if not every day, every other day. And so we had, built a rapport, you know, different things like that. And so, yeah, I met the first one that I met in person. He's from Chicago, and he actually came to Memphis specifically to meet me. He was like, I'm
Okay,
coming. I was
girl.
like, okay, then. And he was wonderful. We had a great, great time. Like, he was really, really cool. And the other guy, he actually lives in Houston, but he is an RF engineer. Like, they do that whole 5G type whatever stuff. But he's been working for the last 2 months in Mississippi. And so he actually came down yesterday, and we had dinner last night. And so, yeah.
How was that?
It was good. It was really good. Felt like just talking with the old friend. I mean, like I said, if I felt like there was any type of red flag, or if I felt any type of, inclination that it wasn't right, I would not have done it. And then on top of that, I know how to protect myself, if you know what I mean. Okay. Don't nobody want to try it.
What is the biggest obstacle that you are finding or have been finding dating in 2020? What has been the biggest obstacles for you?
I think the biggest thing for me is I, not really meeting guys that have kind of like the same values that I have. Um, being a good person, a person of integrity is like huge. Um, I desire a man that works hard, a man that is kind, a man that loves people, his family, his himself, and I just feel like, and I'm just gonna keep it all the way real.
Keep it real, girl.
Okay, some of these dudes out here, I find a theme where a lot of them really like they seek women who are, very successful and, have a lot of things going for themselves. So it's almost like I meet guys that want you to like take care of them. Like they latch on to you and you're like the golden ticket. And any good woman is a go-getter. She's ambitious and she believes in making things happen, and she believes in pouring into people and nurturing people. And then I will say this. I remember a long time ago, an older lady told me, she found out I was a nurse, and she said, I want you to beware of men that will latch on to you. You're a nurturer. Your spirit is nurturing, but on top of that, you're in a career where you nurture and you pour in and you fix broken things and you heal things. So don't think that you have to do this same thing in a relationship that you become involved with, because you'll be depleted. You need to be poured into. You need to be ministered to. You need to be loved. You need to be, all of that. And so I always remembered that. And when I run into a guy and after, we date, and then I start feeling like, he's just taking, not really pouring, putting in anything into it. I'm like, yeah, I'm straight. Bye. Like, bye. I don't have time. And it doesn't take long.
I hear that so much from women, with the guys just want to take it, and I don't know what it is about that.
I don't know what that is.
And it's so many women that's willing to settle for that. The reason why, I don't know. I don't know if they just, really want a man that bad, or like you said, it's that nurturing spirit, and they feel like, okay, I'm going to help him. I can change him. I can make his life better.
Yes, I have been there, sis.
And some of it has to do with daddy issues that we may be having.
Yes, Yes.
We just want to be loved so desperately. Now, that's the problem that I had when I was dating. But I've been at the game a long time. But when I was in the game, I just wanted to be loved. Just hold me. Just make me feel like you want me. Because that's something I never had.
You want to be validated and affirmed. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with wanting to be loved, wanting to be validated and affirmed. Every human being needs that. But it's a problem when it comes at the expense of your self-esteem. It comes at the expense of your well-being. When you become a martyr just so somebody can love you. I feel like love don't have to be a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Love it don't have to be. It don't have to be hard trying to be with somebody, and I just feel like people should, and I took a step back from dating. The last guy that I dated was about a year and a half ago, and like I just started back intentionally trying to date. I was like, I'm seeing a pattern here with the type of men that I get involved with. And, the common denominator is me. So just let's look at this. What's going on, girl? I had to do, the introspective look. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the problem. So we're going to sit back, we're going to chill, we're going to pray, we're going to, be delivered. And then you're going to go back out there and, find your boo.
Wow, that is so
your boo.
That is so powerful what you said, though, because I don't think that women ever take the time to do that introspection like we need to do. Like you said, I had to sit back and say, the only common denominator in this is me. So maybe I'm the problem. And when we can do that, we can go to the next level in our dating, not even just in dating. Sometimes even in these marriages, we have to look back at ourselves and say, if my marriage, ain't where it should be, maybe I need to look at myself, because I'm a part of this equation too. So introspection, self-introspection, I love that you brought that point up. I'm a big proponent of that. And like you said, the daddy issues, just wanting that,
that because the thing about fathers protect, fathers provide, and fathers give identity. And when you don't have a father, when you haven't had a father in your home, and you don't know anybody as that could have been a father to you, you don't really know who you are. And you look to other people to tell you who you are. You look to things to make you right. And so that right there, man, identity is everything. If you don't know who you are, you might as well, everything in this world is going to tell you who you are. And it could be very devastating. It can be very devastating, and it doesn't allow you to be a stable person. You're not going to be stable emotionally. You're not going to be stable, financially. It's just not going to work. So that whole, father figure thing, daddy wounds, mother wounds, it's some deep stuff, but things that have to be addressed if you want to seek healthy connections, and love in the right way. So yeah,
that's so important. And to add on to what you said, not only knowing your identity, knowing your value. For me, I see so many young women. I can't even say young women. I just want to say women in general who we devalue ourselves, and we don't know our worth as women. So we allow any type of treatment. But I think if we knew our worth and what we bring to the table and how valuable we are, and that we're the child of the Most High King, how can I let somebody come in and treat me this way?
You won't. If you know who you are, you be like, exactly. That's fine. Go on.
Okay.
Another one comes by. It's okay.
I think identity and worth, knowing your worth and your value and identity is equally as important. And so what advice do you have for people dating in 2020? We're going to end it. We're going to get ready to end this video. But I just want you to give some advice to the women who may be watching this video, advice you can give them dating in 2020. Of course, I can't give that advice.
Well, I would say spend time with yourself, for me with the Lord and with myself, um, going over what's important. Like, I think it's important to know yourself, knowing what you like, what you don't like, what makes you feel a certain way, what makes you, react, behave. And so knowing these things, and also being intentional about seeking people who can be that for you. Um, People who match your values, people who match, the goals that you have. For me, I know that I'm not going to be working for somebody for the rest of my life. And I know that. And so right now I'm doing things to put myself in a position where I'm not going to be working for somebody for the rest of my life. So for me, it's important to have a man that has vision, to see beyond where he is right now, vision for family, vision for future. So be clear about what you want. I think that when you're clear about what you want, then you are less likely to settle for any old thing. And having your what you desire, and if a person doesn't meet those things, not constantly allowing people to just impose on the blurred lines that you have because you haven't been clear. And that way you'll be with somebody for, you'll look up, it's 5 years and you with this dude that you knew you weren't supposed to be with, but he's somebody, at least you're not by yourself. I think that the biggest thing is, it is okay to be single.
Yes.
Being single does not mean you're worthless. Being single does not mean you're a half of a person. Being single does not mean you ain't never gonna have nobody. Being single is just having time to answer to yourself, doing what you want to do. Because being connected to somebody I already know. I got some married friends. I'm just like, oh Lord,
I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
It
takes work.
Because look, I'm a single woman. I'm used to being by myself, as far as like, I don't have to be like, hey babe, is it okay if I do this or do this? And so when I become a wife, because right now I'm preparing myself to be a wife. I'm thinking about things. It's a mindset, because I want to honor my marriage the way that God wants me to. And so I'm like, man, I ain't never just really, I can get up in the middle of the night and go to the store, and I got, now I got a husband who's like, where you going? No, you can't go. No, you gonna tell me I can't, so yeah, it's a lot of different things to consider, but it's okay being single. It is okay. It's okay.
And I think it's better to be single than to settle. Would you not agree?
Girl,
I listen to some of my single friends. I'm like, why settle? Just stay single. Because you're miserable.
Exactly, girl. And people, because here's the thing, people be coming to me. I guess people feel like they can just talk to me about, they, and I'm like, okay, Ted, you can talk to me. And they be like, one time I had a young lady, she was telling me about this guy she was dating. And I was like, I definitely don't want to be judgmental, but I'm keeping it real, okay? And she was just like, and I was like, oh wow, like, why would you allow yourself to be treated like that? And that's a real question, because that's not right. But I love him. What? So love is enough for you to, or whatever love that is enough for you to allow yourself to be subjected to maltreatment? Come on, baby. I need you to think more of yourself. I need you to see yourself. You can't know. Don't stay with somebody because you love them. Sometimes love ain't enough. And I feel that way. Sometimes love is not enough. You can love somebody and still not have to be with them. You can still love somebody and move on with your life, but yeah.
I think that it's sad, but I think it takes a growth process to get to that mindset, to love yourself. And I think it goes back to the things we talked about, devaluing ourselves and, not having that love and respect for ourselves first. So if you don't love and respect yourself, you can't expect anybody else to love and respect you. So that was some very good advice that you have given.
Okay, one more thing I'm gonna say is that it's important, and you got to be happy with yourself. You need to be happy and whole by yourself before you start looking for a potential mate. And I say that because I feel like it's the most selfish thing in the world to be unhappy with yourself and then basically bring somebody else in your life, put the weight of your happiness on another person. It's too much, and now they have to now a burden with trying to make you happy. It's so selfish. Like, you need to be happy with who you are. You need to be happy, and it's no harm in waiting until you are happy with yourself to, before you find someone else. So that's just how I feel. That was all I wanted. The last thing I wanted to share, because I know
It was the last thing, but it was a very important thing because, and I hate to keep making this video go on, but something else that I find is that we look for other people to make us happy. Other people can't make you happy. Happiness is a choice that you have to make. You have to wake up every day and say, I'm going to be happy. Because, and even me, myself, I've even moved from trying to be happy to just having joy. Because, happiness can change with your circumstances around you. But when you have joy, no matter what the circumstances are around you, you still have that inner peace and that inner joy. But I see that so often, like, he don't make me happy. Boo, it's not his job to make you happy. You have to be happy.
Really not, y'all. Bruh, that's a lot of pressure on somebody to be trying to make somebody happy.
For your happiness.
Okay, because I remember one time I was in a relationship and it was kind of like that. I was exhausted in there. I was emotionally, physically exhausted because I'm like trying to make this man happy. And I'm just like, first of all, this ain't love. I got to go. No. So be happy. I know I'm gonna be happy.
Be happy and value yourself. Don't let nobody dim your light.
Yes.
And so, my friend, it has been a pleasure talking to you. I miss talking to you at work because we normally have conversations like this all the time at work. This is nothing for us. This is how we talk at work.
To lunch.
Yeah.
All the time.
Like you said, Coco done shut it down for us.
Coco done shut everything down, the whole world. But girl, I can't remember the last time I've been to Outback. I can't remember the last time.
Probably the last time I've been is when I was with you. But it has been a pleasure, my friend. Thank you for coming on and encouraging the BW women that you still can date in 2020, that is still possible. Maybe a little challenging, but it's still possible. But you gave them some very important tips on what to do while you're dating in 2020. And for that, my friend, I thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Any way that I can help, I will.
Thank you so much.
For sure.
Love you, Jess.
Love you too, girl.
All right.